What is up, all my hope healers and hope dealers? Welcome to my YouTube channel, my PhD, my Prison History Diploma. My name is Kim, and I did 10 years and 8 months in Florida Department of Corrections, and I've been out for over 15 years now. Whoop, whoop, raise the roof on that one. So I wanted to talk today real quick about what it felt like to not have the liberty to have freedom of speech during my incarceration. I think this is super important because, as we all know, there's been some things going on with as far as YouTube banning certain things being said, Twitter banning certain things that are being said, and some of the people feel the effects of what it looks like to not have that freedom of speech, and then some people are just oblivious and not feeling the effects at all, and they don't even know that this is going on. So I'm gonna tell you during incarceration what it feels like and what it looks like to not have freedom of speech. So I'm gonna tell you the differences. My first, I would say 4 years, I gave myself freedom of speech. I guess is the best way to say it. So I was 85% of 12 years. And I was a kid, well, not a kid, but I was like 18 going on 19. So, like, honestly, the way I looked at it is, if you're gonna talk shit to me at that age and with that amount of time, I was talking shit right back to you. So, and I had freedom of speech my first 4 years. Now, did I suffer consequences for freedom of speech? You better know it, okay? I did a lot, especially my first 4 years. I did a lot of 30 days, 30 days, 30 days, 30 days in solitary confinement. So I'd go to solitary confinement for 30 days, and, you know, I'd be like, man, by day 28, 29, I'd be ready to get out, because you could only shower 3 times a week in solitary confinement. You got no books, leisure books. You only got religious material. And 9 times out of 10, they didn't give you a bunkie. It was just you by yourself, you with you. And, you know, by day 28, 29, you know you're about to get out. You're like, dang. Oh, and you don't get canteen either. And I would be ready to get out. Now, let me tell you, I pulled some long stints in solitary confinement, and I had to warrior up for that shit. But I'm telling y'all, my first 4 years, I had freedom of speech. That's why I can tell you what it looks like, boop, to change into not having freedom of speech. So after those first 4 years, I started realizing, oh my God, like, I need to get some gain time off to get the heck out of this place. So I started conforming verbally to the rules, but I still had freedom of the mind, just so y'all know. So what I did, and you know, this was incarceration. This does not have to happen to us in the free world. As a matter of fact, I think that my neighbors should have the right to give their political stance. I feel like everybody should have a right to think and feel the way they want to think and feel. You know, I mean, the way that I look at it is they're not paying the bills in my household, and they're not, I'll just say it, they're not romanticizing me or sexually satisfying me. I don't care. I don't care what my neighbors are doing, and you're not trying to hurt me, and that's your opinion. Congratulations. I love you. That's what makes the world so unique and beautiful, is everybody has different opinions. So when I decided that I was no longer going to go to solitary confinement and let them take my gain time, it was a little bit taxing. Not even a little bit taxing, y'all. It was very taxing. So I would have a person of authority. Basically, if they felt like telling me to F off, I would have to basically eat it and physically and show them, you know, yes sir, But in my mind, I would be like, yeah, you can F off too, thanks, you know. And I would think to myself, like, you can never penetrate my spirit. So, you know, it's not a fun time to not have the capabilities to speak your mind. You know, that's why people love America, right? One of the things in our Constitution is freedom of speech. So, you know, if someone freely wants to say their opinion, who am I to tell you you're wrong for your opinion? That is your perspective. As long as your perspective is not harming my family. And listen, just because you're one perspective about a political party or, you know, the environment doesn't mean that you're harming if I think something different. We're not harming each other. What we're doing is we're just have different views on how to handle certain situations. So I want to put this out there because I firmly believe that with the climate that it is today, with people just walking on eggshells, not knowing whether to call somebody her, him, they, them, and not feeling the freedom of speech, what I have to say to that is the foundation of America. Okay? You have the freedom people have the freedom to think the way they want to think about their gender, and somebody else has the freedom to think about what they want to think about their side of that. It should not affect each other. It's just called two different viewpoints. It's just like somebody going to the top of anywhere, a viewpoint in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, the top of the Teton Mountains, and you have a viewpoint facing one way and somebody has a viewpoint facing another, and you guys don't see the same thing. Oh, I see the lake over here. Oh, I see, you know, the forest over here. It doesn't mean that those two things aren't there if I didn't see the forest because I was looking at the lake. It just means that's what I saw and how I saw it. I hope that made sense. But all my hope healers and hope dealers, what I want to tell you is we should all be entitled to our own opinion. That is what we are about as human beings, spiritual beings having a human experience. We're each in our own lesson in life. And your lesson may be different from my lesson. But the good news is that I'm not going to get in the way of your life lesson, and don't get in the way of mine. Let's respect each other's opinions. And I don't have to take on your opinion, and you don't have to take on mine. Just don't take away my capability to speak my opinion. Okay? A lot of people are like me, and I can speak my opinion very eloquently without saying something that would hurt the other side. Look, I'm not going to have a gun to your head, or I'm not going to be doing anything that's going to hurt you. My words are my opinion. They're not there to hurt you. They're there because that is my way of thinking. That is my direction. So I want to put out there to all my hope healers and hope dealers, let's love each other and respect the fact that not everybody sees the same viewpoints. You might be at the same top of the mountain, but you might be facing the way of the lake, and you might be facing the way of the forest. That doesn't mean either one of them aren't there. I love you guys. Together, we can rise up. Just embrace somebody else's thoughts and opinions with love. Let them know it's cool. You can think like that. I don't have to think like that. At the end of the day, though, let's love and embrace the fact that we both can agree that everybody deserves that freedom of speech to relay the way that they view their life. Thanks, all my hope healers and hope dealers. I love you all.